What a shocker. We've got major breaking news on the Ravens rundown as the Baltimore Ravens have officially backed out of the Maxx Crosby trade, a trade that was agreed upon last Friday night. 2 first-rounders from Baltimore to Las Vegas. It is no more. I'm confused. You're confused. Nobody saw this coming. Where does Baltimore go next? What do they do in free agency? What are the draft targets now? There's a lot of questions that don't have a lot of answers, but we're going to try to get those answers together on today's show. Thank you so much for being here. If you have not subscribed yet, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because whenever breaking news happens, we make a video. This is a perfect example of that. Join us in the over 46,000 Ravens fans who's got us locked in right here on the Ravens Rundown. So this news actually came from the Las Vegas Raiders Twitter account themselves. They posted a statement that the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Maxx Crosby. We will have no further comment at this time. Immediately, I think every single person's thoughts went to the physical, okay? Because the trade got agreed upon on Friday, right? We've already discussed that, but it does not become official until Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, when that new league year officially kicks in. It was all dependent on the physical or not, whether or not Maxx Crosby would pass it or the Baltimore Ravens would feel comfortable with where he currently was at. Because you got to think, man, not only are you paying him a ton of money, but you also sit 2 first-round picks over there. So you got to make sure you feel like you're going to get a valuable return on what you sent over. Dianna Russini is the one who reported it that Maxx Crosby did not pass his physical today. Per sources, the Ravens get their first-round picks back. He arrived in Baltimore yesterday. He was going to take the physical today. They were hoping he was going to pass it. And then from there on, they were hoping that when this thing got finalized tomorrow afternoon, everybody would be excited about the new era of Baltimore Ravens football with Maxx Crosby coming into the mix. I can't believe it, man. I am as shocked as you are. Did not see this coming. But honestly, guys, I know there's probably going to be a lot of frustration from Ravens fans out there. I ultimately think that this is probably the best thing for Baltimore. Does it suck that it's happening now and they missed out on the first days of free agency? Yes, 100%. But you know what would suck worse is if you give 2 first-round picks to Las Vegas and Maxx Crosby is a shell of what we thought he was going to be, or even worse, Maxx Crosby comes in, plays 3 games, and then has another meniscus injury and misses the rest of the season. That would be worse than just missing the first 2 days of free agency, okay? It's crazy, man. And I'm bummed, okay? I can realize that this is probably the best decision for the Baltimore Ravens and also be frustrated because I think Maxx Crosby is an unbelievable talent. I think Maxx Crosby, I said it on Friday, okay? I'm not just going to take it back because he's not a Raven anymore. I think Maxx Crosby is the most well-rounded edge rusher in the National Football League. When you can combine what he does rushing the passer with what he does in stopping the run as well. I don't think there's any other defensive end in this game, maybe Myles Garrett in that discussion, that is better than Maxx Crosby. There's a reason that Baltimore wanted to go give 2 first-round picks for him because they felt that they were an edge rusher away. I think we all felt that they were an edge rusher away from really, really making moves, from really just blowing this whole league wide open and becoming a legitimate contender. Not just a team that's going to go win 12 games and lose in the first or second round of the playoffs. A team that's going to go out and win an AFC championship game. That's going to have a chance, an ability to go compete for Lombardi. That's why they made the move to go get Crosby. But you've also got smart people running this organization. You've got smart trainers. You've got a smart owner. You've got a smart general manager. I believe you have a smart new head coach. And for what they've seen physically of Maxx Crosby over the last, day, it hasn't made them feel like it's worth the risk of sitting over those 2 first-rounders. And honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I applaud them for that decision. probably not an easy decision to make. I can't imagine having to, be the one that chooses that, to back out of this deal. But you're leveraging your future on Maxx Crosby. This isn't just a first rounder and some practice squad player. It's not a third rounder and a depth piece at defensive tackle. These are 2 first-round picks. This is your future. And you don't want that to be at risk of possibly him coming in there and getting injured. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more to talk about, don't worry. But just kind of mid-video reminder, we are always here on the Ravens Rundown. Shine like Friday when we thought we got them, or rain like today when it's not happening, okay? We are going to be here. Now, where do you go from here? I think that's the big question. Automatically, my mind transitions to Trey Hendrickson, edge rusher. Came out a report today that he is going to make a decision tomorrow on where he's going to play his football next. And I doubt he thought that the Baltimore Ravens were going to be a team that came into the fold. Now, he might already be, well in on talks and discussions with other teams, but that is automatically the first thing that comes to mind. Also, sorry, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything on social media. I want to make sure I'm keeping you guys as up to date as possible. Wow. Anyway, sorry. Back to what I was saying. I think Trey Hendrickson automatically enters the equation. I think you probably get a little bit more aggressive. I do. I mean, you have not been aggressive at all. You signed John Simpson. That's it. Right? You've let, feels like hundreds of thousands of people walk. Isaiah Likely, Tyler Linderbaum, Charlie Kolar, Jordan Stout, Ardarius Washington, Pat Ricard. And it's time for you to go add some people. Because that was the thing, man, is like you weren't adding anybody over the last 36 hours. But I think we all could look at it and say, you know what? You still got Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Maxx Crosby, all of these guys. But now you can't say that anymore. Now it's back to, okay, you got Kyle and an older Roquan Smith. And you let Draymond Jones leave, who you had in here. Man, I don't know where they go. I really, really don't. Obviously, I think this is, I'm curious what they do now. I think the draft has a different meaning because they probably, I always thought they were going to go Vega Awane in the first round of the NFL draft. I always thought that was going to be the selection, the guard out of Penn State, but now you added the guard in John Simpson. So maybe now you go edge rusher at 14. Maybe since you've already been aggressive, you continue to be aggressive, try to trade into that top 10. Maybe if Ruben Bain, David Bailey falls, you've just kind of put yourself in a really, really bad situation with just the timing of all of this. And again, it's not your fault. This is just a freak thing that's happened. But it happened, man. It happened. It just feels like, there's part of me that's happy you got your first rounder back. Happy you got next year's first rounder back as well. But I was so excited to see Maxx Crosby in Baltimore. To see a healthy Maxx Crosby in Baltimore, obviously. He's one of my favorite players in the league. Truly. There's a reason I've been talking about trading for Maxx Crosby for a long time. Do they go out and do they go trade for Jalen Carter? Maybe. Eagles have been having discussions with some teams about dealing the defensive tackle, 24 years old. Do you go get Jalen Carter? Or do you feel good about Nnamdi Madubuike's health and Travis Jones? You just signed him to a contract extension. Are there any other edge rushers that might be on the market? Odafe Owe signed somewhere else already. Khalil Mack is signed somewhere else already. It's just like it's Joey Bosa and it's Trey Hendrickson available right now as your edge rushers. Edge rushers, NFL free agents. there's just not that much right now. Jalen Phillips signed a big deal. Boye Mafe. I guess Jadeveon Clowney's still there. Cameron Jordan sucks. Jeez. I don't know where you go from here, man. Try and think of other edge rushers that might be on the trade market. I don't know if there's any. Jalen Carter might be your hope if you want to make a defensive splash. Apparently, the Jaguars and the Cowboys are still very interested in Maxx Crosby. I think you go throw a bag at Trey Hendrickson. Call me crazy. I think that's what you need to do. I don't know, man. It's unexpected. It's frustrating. It's a lot of things. It's the NFL. It is the NFL. Damn. Well, good thing we didn't raffle off a Maxx Crosby jersey yesterday. Oh, gosh, sorry. You guys are watching me cope with this in real time. That's going to do it for today's show. Yeah, I just... I'm just upset. I'm bummed. I'm really bummed out. I like Max a lot. Excited about what he was going to bring. There are only a handful of edge rushers in the NFL that are a Maxx Crosby type. Lamar hasn't signed an extension yet. Oh, that sucks. Okay. We're going to get out of here. My final thoughts. Look, they just didn't feel like it was worth it. They felt like the failed physical. And hey, I'm not shaming them for making that call at all. Probably the responsible decision, but it's a bummer. It's a bummer, man. All right, we're going to get out of here. I got to get this video on the channel. So we'll see you tomorrow.